Another massive mid-season bombshell for the AFL. An emotional Damien Hardwick has quit Richmond, effective immediately, because he's burnt out. After 14 seasons and 3 premierships, the Tigers' longest-serving coach says it's time for a break. His departure comes just a week after North Melbourne coach Alastair Clarkson stepped down for his health and well-being.
If I couldn't give this playing group, this club, these people beside me the very best of Damien Hardwick, I wasn't prepared to see it out. So it was a tough decision, but one I was eternally grateful for.
Nation, please, a minute's silence.
Come on.
That's a TV minute. Konrad Marshall is a journalist who spent years embedded with Hardwick's Tigers. Konrad, you know him as well as anyone that I know. Did this come as a surprise to you?
Actually, yeah. I mean, I was shocked. I was stunned. I mean, I was saddened, like all Tigers were, I think. People had talked to me about this. Sports media people had brought it up in the months beginning this year, saying, do you think he's got the will to go on? Do you think Hardwick might leave soon or go somewhere else? And I just sort of dismissed that question out of hand. I wasn't sure I even really understood it. Like, they would explain that he'd been at the helm for 13 years, and that's a very long time for any coach to stay at one club. But that just still sounded kind of arbitrary to me. And so I didn't want to believe it. But then you see the announcement today and you listen to him speaking about how tough the job is and what a toll it sort of takes on people. And you begin to understand, I think, why he stepped away. And maybe you begin to sort of ask questions about whether the pressures are too great on AFL coaches, whether the reduction in the soft cap in spending within football departments was such a great idea. We have so many coaches sort of stepping away or stepping down, and it's fair to ask why.
Konrad, knowing Hardwick as you do, is this decision possibly particular to his personality and where he finds himself in his life, or is it a problem with coaching at that elite level?
Look, I think it could be a little bit of both, but what I would say is the thing that stood out to me today was when he mentioned that grief that he goes through after every loss. I reckon people kind of hear something like that and they think, oh, you lose on Friday night, then you've got to wallow in it for a weekend and maybe you mope and you're a bit sad and down and then you get back into it Monday. But it's not really like that daily grind for them. They have the loss on Friday and then they go down into a bunker and they start coding videotape, and that goes into Saturday. And then on Sunday they're doing, synthesising that with data and with what their eyes tell them and what the other coaches are telling them. And then they have to present it to the players in match review on Monday. And before you know it, you're moving into opposition analysis and selection. And then they're training and they're getting on a plane and they're flying interstate and maybe they lose again. And you just think about this constant weekly climb that they have to do, so week on week, month on month, year on year. And the climb thing is interesting to me because Hardwick was always using mountaineering metaphors in his stories to the players. He would implore them to sort of scale that peak, that summit, whether it was getting over the Hillary Step on Everest or getting through the bottleneck on K2. Just come with him, climb step by step. And maybe it's just as simple as he doesn't want to climb anymore. He wants to go for a walk, and that's perfectly okay.
Well said. You're a literary man, Konrad, and no doubt you have thousands of words to go write, so we'll let you go write them. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.